their vision for St. Kitts and Nevis. Yes, this Sunday, the People's Action Movement train will be heading to Trafalgar Village from 8 p.m. Remember, Pam and CCM represent the best hope for the future of St. Kitts and Nevis.
4:10 p.m. 4:10 p.m. No way you can beat us, no how.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Think before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We are encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans ready for an opportunity to win big from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Tuesday in the following locations. In St. Kitts, the Connery Roundabout, the parking lot at Buckley's in front of Best Buy, in Deep Bay on the last Saturday of each month. In Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, ex-petroling camps, Big Six in Gingerland, the old Artisan Village in Charlestown. But wait, that's not all. 1 pound equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottles, flatware sets, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Are you a small business owner and need that financial backing to help your business grow and expand? Well, come see us at the St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union Limited and ask about our easy access small business loan. You can borrow up to $25,000. Call us 465-2272, 465-9014. Visit us at New Street or at the head office at Bladen's. Let us help you grow your business, as your financial health is our priority. The St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union Limited, the best place to save, the best place to borrow.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Freedom FM 106.5.
Think before you bin it. There can be some use in it. The Nevis Solid Waste Management Authority, in collaboration with Taiwan ICDF Technical Mission and the Department of Environment, presents Let's Recycle. We are encouraging all residential homes, commercial businesses, and schools to bring along your plastic bottles, metal cans, and aluminum cans ready for an opportunity to win big from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every Tuesday in the following locations. In St. Kitts, the Connery Roundabout, the parking lot at Buckley's in front of Best Buy, in Deep Bay on the last Saturday of each month. In Nevis, every second and fourth Friday of each month at Delta Petroleum, ex-petroling camps, Big Six in Gingerland, the old Artisan Village in Charlestown. But wait, that's not all. 1 pound equals 1 point. So bring your recyclables and build up your points for a chance to win stainless steel thermal bottles, flatware sets, and much more. To learn more about the recycling project, do visit our Facebook page at Let's Recycle in St. Kitts and Nevis, or contact us at 465-2372. The choice is yours. Save it or waste it. You are the difference. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Are you a small business owner and need that financial backing to help your business grow and expand? Well, come see us at the St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union Limited and ask about our easy access small business loan. You can borrow up to $25,000. Call us 465-2272, 465-9014. Visit us at New Street or at the head office at Bladen's. Let us help you grow your business, as your financial health is our priority. The St. Kitts Cooperative Credit Union Limited, the best place to save, the best place to borrow.
Welcome to our listeners here in St. Kitts and Nevis and in the diaspora. First of all, let me apologize for our late start, and I do thank you for your patience. But we are here now, and our conversation today will be top-notch. So, Running in Heels is on your radio, your computer, your smartphone, whichever device you choose to use today. Running in Heels is on. We are coming to you live and direct from the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis with the help of our broadcast partners. Freedom, of course, Freedom Radio 106.5 FM, Caribbean Broadcast Network, CBN, and they are covering the US and the British Virgin Islands, along with RCP Radio and TV Online, and TDN Radio Network in the USA. So you see, we are widely listened to. You are listening to Running in Heels. Running in Heels is a mini-series of weekly conversations with the women candidates vying for elective politics in the upcoming general election in St. Kitts and Nevis. This is the first time in our nation's history that we have had this level of female participation in our democratic process. I am your host, Hazel Brandy Williams, Minister of Health and Gender Affairs in the Nevis Island Administration. Every week, I like to start off with, in our interaction, with a bit of information as it relates to women in leadership and specifically women in politics. The United Nations has mandated that parliaments around the world should be working to attain at least 33.33% of women representation in parliament by the year 2030. Presently, Rwanda in Africa, boasts a parliament with the highest percentage of women in the world. 61.3% of seats are held by women, and that is commendable. Ranking number 2 in the world and tops in the Caribbean is Cuba with 53.2%. And mention must be made of the former Parliament of Grenada, which was ranked 6th globally, topping the list in the English-speaking Caribbean with 46.7%. And that was before the recently held election about a month ago. I must commend the former Prime Minister, the Honorable Keith Mitchell, for his work in promoting women in politics across the region. I am hoping that the new government of Grenada, under the leadership of Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, will continue to promote gender equality and encourage women's participation in elective politics, not only in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, but also across the Caribbean region. Conversely, St. Kitts and Nevis is ranked 143rd worldwide with just 13.33% of women in parliament. This suggests that we have a lot of work to do. But I think the work has started. We are on the right track, and we just have to intensify our efforts. Joining us today on the 4th episode of Running in Heels is the candidate of the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party for Central Bastille or constituency number 2. She is no stranger to the microphone or to the media. So I will now allow her to introduce herself to the worldwide audience. We at Running in Heels, we have an international audience. So tell us who you are.
Good afternoon, everybody. All of you listening, particularly my people of Central Bastille. Good afternoon. A special good afternoon to you. So I am Marsha Henderson. I am the candidate for constituency number 2 for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. I am an attorney at law, let me just say before I move on, and the next representative for constituency number 2. Following the next general elections. I am an attorney at law for the last 18 years. I was admitted to practice in 2004 and have been practicing at the St. Kitts and Nevis Bar. My focus mainly is litigation. I am a natural advocate. Okay. And that is my passion, advocacy. And so I've been doing that and representing persons both in the High Court, the Court of Appeal, and even on the magisterial level for the past 18 years. I'm a mother, which is, I think, my biggest accomplishment is the fact that I'm a mother of a 9-year-old boy. He's my pride and joy. I grew up, if I can say, in the communities of Central Bastille, particularly in McKnight and Market Street. So I rep M Street all the time. I'm thankful for the persons in the communities of Central Bastille who helped to nurture me and make me into the person I am today. So I think that's a bit about me. I don't know if there's anything specifically that you wanted to know.
Well, that's a starter, icebreaker, we call that.
Indeed.
And it is good that you've started with where you're from and you know, what you do as a profession. Advocacy, I like that very much because most of what we do as women, and especially women in leadership and women in politics, is all about advocating for something, the rights of the child, the right of the single parent, the right. And so I am happy that advocacy is big on your list. Yes. So growing up in McKnight and Market Street, give us an idea of what your childhood growing up in those areas was like. Did you always have a passion for being a leader?
Absolutely.
Getting into politics?
Well, not getting into politics specifically, but I think I'm a natural leader. So I grew up in church, in the Maranatha Church, and That church as well is located in Salt Pan Alley. We were also on Market Street. And I think it is there, even as a child, that I started honing my advocacy skills. We were introduced in youth fellowship and youth leadership to, going before the church and making even a simple recitation, exercising roles as, big sisters in Sunday school. And for me, that is where it started. That is where I knew I was born to be a leader. My mother as well instilled it in me. Whenever she had to discipline me or even reprimand me, I would question her, like, why, mommy? Why? She would say, Miss, don't question me, do I say everything? Mommy, why? Don't why me. You're going to come a lawyer.
I can relate.
You're going to come a lawyer. You always asking questions. And I think she spoke it into being. And growing up in the McKnight and Market Street communities wasn't different to, I suspect, any other community. You saw persons, the true meaning of a village raising a child. Everybody played their roles. If you were walking down the street and you didn't say good morning, they would say, Miss Marsha, where's your manners? Everybody, you had all hands on deck. And to me, that is what is missing today. And, we miss those times. Everybody cared for everybody's children.
It is instructive that you mention your disciplinarian mother,
yes,
who instilled that sense of leadership qualities in you. And as well, I couple that with the fact that you mentioned how the village raised a child. How do you see us going forward in terms of trying to bring back some of those values?
Yes, we are going to need, Hazel, what I like to call a cultural shift. The way in how we think and behave. We need to be conscious of it and change the way we think and behave. We need to go back to where you were responsible for your neighbor's child. You were responsible for your sister's child. I see now a lot of people say, oh, leave him. He mother don't discipline him. Leave him. Don't touch him. He mother gonna make nice. Or even if you attempt to, sometimes another parent, would intervene and say, leave me child. Mm-hmm. So to me, it requires a whole shifting in how we think and how we behave. Good. And that is, of course, a conscious shift of how we think. We need to consciously be aware of, how we think and how we behave.
Okay. With that said, give us an idea as to what community groups or program projects that you have been involved in, and what are some do you think that you will promote once you get into government to bring back those values and to bring back the community spirit and the whole camaraderie that existed back then, in the community?
So one of the main things that I was involved in, even from as a teenager, and this goes back from me being involved in my church down in Salt Pan Alley, we were actively involved in the work of vulnerable youths. And so since then, I've been working at what I was working then at I think it was called, it's now the New Horizons. Back then, it was the Harris's home. Okay. And so the relationship I have forged with a lot of the boys, particularly in the McKnight community, was as a result of the work I did there. So we would go every third Saturday, and I would help with homework. A lot of them were not much very younger than me. Homework, counseling, and even forming, friendships with them, even when they were there at the home. And interestingly, it has resulted in us remaining friends up until today. I think I mentored a few of them. I won't even mention names. And even now, I continue my work with the vulnerable juveniles in particular at the New Horizon, and even in my practice on a regular basis. Outside of that, I was involved in the Brownies. I was a young leader there. Like I said, a natural advocate. I at an early age got involved in debating and even led the debating team and the society on a whole. I think I was the president when I was there in sixth form. So, and showed leadership skills even back then. I would like to see a lot more social programs that deals with, a lot of dealing with teaching our young people social skills, and life skills, teaching you how to deal with conflict resolution, the things that we see lacking today in our society, how to tolerate and appreciate each other and the differences that we might even have. And so I would like to see a lot more of that, particularly with our young people.
Good. So you have given us a synopsis as to where you have come. Your earlier bringing in McKnight and Market Street.
Yes. M Street. That's how we say it on the road. M Street.
Oh, M Street.
You got it right.
I have to get the jargon right.
Yes,
M Street.
yes.
Okay. You are privileged in the sense that you are the representative for the oldest political party in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I must say, I don't know if I want to use the word lucky, but I still think that you are lucky.
Trust me, I am. I
to be selected.
Yes.
So give us an idea as to how you got here in terms of your political affiliation. How were you selected as the candidate? What did you have to do? What rigors, if any, you had to go through to get the seat today as the candidate for Central Bastia constituency number 2?
So here's when I walk around in canvassing, I hear a lot of young people say, I'm not interested in politics. Me want mix up in the politics. And I can say that I had that same attitude initially. I don't think that I didn't want to, but I just wasn't interested. But I, like I said, grew up in a community where we didn't have a lot. My mother was a single parent and she single-handedly raised 5 of us. Okay. But I was fortunate enough to go off to law school as a result of the productive and policies that Labour had in place at the time. I was able to apply and go off to school. I wasn't born with a silver spoon. I didn't have a rich godfather or a rich godmother and uncle. But there were progressive policies in place at the time that permitted me to go off to school. And that got me thinking, I'm a beneficiary of all these policies. Not only me, I have a little sister, she's a medical doctor. And my mother couldn't afford to do that for us. It had to be that there was something in place. And I thought to myself, this was even before I could vote. Where would I... When it came to the election, where would I put my support? And I grew up, I'm not even afraid to say it, I grew up in a traditionally PAM family, but I've never had reason to support the PAM party. And that is because I felt obligated morally to give back, look and give back to not only my country, but to the party that supported me. And so there was a calling for me to serve the people of Central Bastia. Okay. And I thought long about it. I prayed, consulted my family and friends, and prayed.
So you had to go through a routine?
Absolutely. There's a mechanism in place where you apply, and there's a committee. So I wasn't handpicked. There's a candidate selection committee where the applicants would go through the process. And it's a rigorous process. And I went through the process. And I emerged.
Okay. So, in other words, you're the creme de la creme of the pack.
I am. We had
okay.
I am, if I can say so.
If I'm to go back to something you said earlier, and you said you're a mother of a 9-year-old
boy.
Give us an idea as to your support system.
Yes.
Because I know to straddle a 9-year-old boy, your professional job, your community life, your political life, and then your personal life. Give me an idea as to what your support system is like and how you have been able to balance this heavy workload, so to speak.
Sometimes I don't even know myself, Hazel. But what I can say is I have the most supportive family. We're not a huge family, but I have the most supportive family, including my mother and my father, who I'm sure is listening. He's actually from Nevis, Oral, Jeffers, from Fountain, my biggest supporter as well.
Okay. The gentleman there must be your family
As
then.
I see him looking at me. But I do have the most supportive family, and my friends, they are my rock. My rock. And I rely a lot on them when I feel drained. And my son Liam,
Okay.
he, when you have a hard day and you go home and I see his face and he starts telling me about his day, it's like nothing. You don't even remember all that you would have gone through the day,
right.
and
Okay.
you switch off immediately. And I find a lot of, as young as he is, he doesn't even know, what he does for mommy. So
With 18 years in the legal profession.
18 long years.
18 years. And I believe 18 rewarding years as well.
Absolutely.
If you were to, or when you get into parliament, what would be some of the issues that would form part of your legislative agenda? I know there are a number of issues we talk about. There are a number of laws on our books that
Yes.
some of them at this time probably need to be revisited and look at again. Give us an idea as to, especially those legal cases that pertain to women and children, or women and girls. Give me an idea as to what your legislative agenda would be like.
I would advocate for the possibly, and I know my comrade leader spoke about this on Sunday when we had our women's forum. I would advocate for paternity leave and possibly the increase in maternity leave. So the increase in maternity leave and the introduction of paternity leave, and what would that do here? So it deals with the family and the family-based structure and in strengthening families. I remember when I got pregnant, I worked for myself. I had recently started my own practice, and I had to be off for 3 months, and I couldn't afford 3 months. But let's say his father would have gotten the time off. We could have shared the time. So I could have done 2 months, and he did 2 months. He would have done 2 months, and we would have been able to stay home until the child was ready for nursery or daycare. So I would advocate for maybe the increase. For now, it's 3 months. The introduction of paternity leave. I see my comrade leader spoke to it on Sunday. I would also push for more spaces for women to feed their children, even on the job, both in public and private spaces. For example, I was forced to go back to work. I was ready. I worked for myself. So I was ready to go back to work before the expiration of the 3-month period for maternity leave. But let's say I wanted to take my child from the nursery and feed him, somewhere, maybe at court, for the hour when I'm on break. I think we should advocate and push for more spaces where women in public and private.
So more family-friendly workspaces.
Yes, whether it is to spend and bond with
yes.
your child or breastfeed your child. I don't think it's a big issue here because I see women, they pull their breasts out and feed their child anywhere, and people are not alarmed. But I think it's different in the work environment, and I would advocate more for that. And Hazel, the control of women and their reproductive system.
You preempted me on that one.
It's a big thing. It's controversial. It is a big thing. I know, for example, married women, if they have to make a decision in relation to an issue that affects them, they have to consult and possibly get the consent of their husband. And this is 2022. And whilst I would respect that they may need some consultation from your husband, and I am not saying, we're big bad bullies, you can consult your husband. Ultimately, the decision is yours. And consent should not be required. Consultation, yes, but not consent.
Okay.
We should be in a position to be in charge of any decision that affects us, our bodies, and including our reproductive system.
Okay.
So those are some of the areas I can think of.
Okay.
Right now.
I want to get your take on the abortion issue. As a lawyer yourself, you know that abortion is still illegal on our books. But then I think it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, we had a situation in the US, in the United States, where that was overturned.
Yes.
How do you think that would affect us here? And what is your take on legalizing or regularizing something as it pertains to the abortion issue?
Well, it ties in with just what I said in terms of women being in charge of or being in control of the decisions that affect us and our bodies. I still think we have a long way to go. We actually do have a long way to go. The decision in the US it should be something for us to consider. I see, even though it may not be legally binding here, I can see it being of some persuasion even to, our courts. And even if we don't legislate, our judges in coming to their own decisions would be creating, it's still illegal on the books, but there is common law, something we call common law, where decisions developed in court forms parts of the law. So I can see the judges finding creative way. We have some judges these days who are fearless and you're not afraid to make decisions. And I can see with the introduction of more female judges as well on the bench, I can see us moving in that direction if we are afraid to legislate.
Okay, very good. All right, we are speaking to Marsha Henderson, the candidate for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, and we are now at the halfway point.
Yes.
And so we will
already.
I know you have lots more to say, but we will now open the lines to persons who are desirous of calling in and wishing Marsha well, or they have a question or two that they might want to ask. At this time, I want to again say kudos and big up our radio station, who are
106.5
as well as the others in the diaspora.
Yes.
Those in the Virgin Islands and those in the USA. Hello, you are on Running in Heels.
Good afternoon to you lovely ladies.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Marsha, I'm happy to hear your voice. I'm happy to hear you in the studio and also the lady next to you.
Yes, thank you.
I'm impressed with all the plans, what you guys have on the way forward for the youths and the future. I am very serious when it comes to youth and the future, because we have to now start to look at the youths. They are the future. And it's good to listen to you, Marsha. You have very nice ideas. You're a very nice person. I mean, I didn't know you personally, but after I get to know you, I'm going to be honest with you, Marsha. You seem very warm, you seem very genuine, and these are the kind of people we need in politics. You must have a good heart. You must be able to reach people. You must be able to touch people. A lot of that is lacking. And just genuinely, you could see that you're a very nice lady. And I want to tell you, continue doing what you're doing, Marsha. Don't change. Remain the same, remain humble, because it takes you a very long way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to say to you and the other lady there too, you all are doing a very good job. And I hope a lot of ladies can take pattern off for you guys, especially a lot of young upcoming ladies. We need these kind of forums. Because a lot of the time, I don't think people take, even in politics, especially in singles, the ladies serious. We always feel like it's a man thing. And me personally right now, I believe we need a woman leader in St. Kitts. Seriously. Because our man, not knocking to be clear, but a lot of us are, it's an ego thing. Look at where this leader presently now carrying us. Timothy Harris. Look at where we are today. Nobody wanted to say they apologize. Look at the people who was with him. They come out and up and now they can't say to the nation, we apologize for what happened for the last 7 years. We asking for forgiveness and let's move forward. They just want to just come and tell themselves on people again. It does not work like that, people. People must have a heart. Show people that you care. Not people does not care. And you need more ladies like you to come forward. And Marshall, again, I said, continue doing what you're doing. I love the plan because I'll say to you again, I love children, and that is my whole goal about all of this situation. When I see what's going on with these people coming in these programs talking about the peace and the peace and the peace, I have nothing against the peace, Marshall. Because I see it, I'm around it. But how are we dealing with it? But what about our youngsters right presently now? You have a set of youngsters who are playing cricket. They can't miss and go to play cricket because of the vaccine. Because of vaccine. We're still holding up the vaccine. But we just watched a fellow in a tennis tournament in England and he's not vaxxed. So who are we following in the Caribbean? Look at the Caribbean leader, the woman from Barbados. Look at how she handled the COVID. To all of these men in the Caribbean. She was exceptional.
Yes, she was. Definitely.
She was exceptional. She had understanding. She had feeling. She had passion about people. But here, anybody the ego in the Caribbean, when the pandemic, all of us are saying in the Caribbean. Now all of us are telling the son and the other young cricketers, they cannot go because they vax. My people, we need to get it right.
Yes, and I look forward to the day when we see more women, step forward and show up and take up space. Thank you very much. Sorry?
I want that before I go quick, a lot of people need to start to respect the women them too. I have a big problem with this because some women come forward who want to come out and think about the woman. No, we need to come better than this. And guys, have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Okay, let me disconnect this radio here. Me brother, no for me one part of the feminine energy, so take it for yourself. Alright. Sission?
Yeah, that's good day. Good afternoon.
Yeah, ma'am. Sission mean both of you all, perfect love greetings, yeah?
Good afternoon, yes.
Politics as it is, the Westminster style politics as it is, it is not pretty. Anyhow, we wish you the best inside of it,
Mm-hmm.
And reaching to a point where of decision making, if you go inside there, would you consider policies like free health? Let me have a minute. Did you hear the question? Would you consider free health care, especially for women and children?
Free health care?
Yeah.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah, free health care. Yeah.
Okay.
Me no want to on the line too long.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the calorie for me. Free health care, especially for women and children.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. And once again, all the best. Yeah?
Thank you very much. I want to just say the numbers to call are 662-1065, 465, 6474, and 465-0546. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Marsha.
Good afternoon, Sister Sylvine.
Yes, Sister Sylvine. Very proud of you. Even though I can't vote for you.
Yes.
I wish you the best. And it tells a lot of young people being a Christian don't keep your back. Marsha got all her leadership skills. She didn't tell you she can dance,
Not anymore, but I used to be able to.
Tell them. You miss nothing. I'm proud of you. Now there is one I have been lobbying for. Differently, so it affects my voice. Now there is the distribution of assets among unmarried people. Common law. That law has been passed in a number of countries, Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I have been lobbying and lobby myself, I lobby everybody. Because what we find in St. Kitts, that a lot of the relationships are single or sometimes the man live with the woman and vice versa. And one of them passed, and the family of the deceased just move in and take everything. And I am saying it's time enough we get our laws passed so that people, whether the male or the female, can be entitled to some of the assets.
Yes, Sylvian, and I am in agreement with your full.
Because I haven't heard anybody say it, and I am serious about it. I mean, I wasn't out to make a problem, but
in the absence of legislation, I absolutely agree with you that we need to advocate for legislation to that effect. But as a lawyer, I can tell you, even in the absence of legislation, there is the case law that suggests that persons who are unmarried can benefit. And it happens almost every day in court. There are numerous decisions in the court, both in the High Court and the Court of Appeal, where unmarried persons can benefit from if there's a dissolution of marriage or even on death.
As you say, some people don't have the money or whatever to go to the court. So once the law is passed, you shouldn't have to go to that hassle. And even sometimes, by the time they reach to the court, the family has taken all of the assets, put the people out of the house and the children and stuff like that. So the same way we could pass different laws, we should pass that one. So I am expecting you, your party, all of the parties, St. Kitts and Nevis, all the female candidates, please to lobby for the, what's the correct name of it?
What's that?
The correct name of the law for the
common law.
Oh well, it's
common law.
It's in different pieces of statute. It's under the Divorce Act. Okay. It's in the Married Women's Property Act. It's in a different number of pieces of legislation.
Yeah, so
and it's in and there are a number of cases outside of, because the legislation speaks only to married people.
I know.
Yes.
All right then.
Yes. Thank you, caller, for your intervention. Okay. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
Carl Brown here.
Afternoon, Carl.
Hi, Marsha.
How are you?
But I haven't seen you yet.
Yes, we were in your area, and we are coming back there actually.
Okay. I hope you get here before the election is over.
Yes.
We want to hear your plans and policies. And
definitely. My team was there and they told me they met with you and they told you that I would be coming to see you shortly.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to suggest a couple of things to you. If you, Miss Henderson, get elected, would you follow, like so many other politicians before, elected ones, that you guys, when upon elected, choose to come in our constituency and put down what you feel like with no discussion with the constituents, and we must accept that. That is not acceptable.
Not at all. And that is why we are out canvassing, knocking on every door. The exercise, the objective of the canvassing exercise is to find out from the constituents what is their concern, how they would like to see the constituency. So it's not me coming and saying, oh, this is what I want for Central Bastia. When we go out, our teams, we ask for your input in relation to how you would want to see the community, what you would want to see done, what you want to see done differently. So I agree with you. It's not me coming and imposing my vision for Central Bastia on the people of Central Bastia, but the people of Central Bastia helping to shape, and working together as to how we see our communities being better.
No, what I'm saying is that is what all candidates do when they come around. They ask us what we would like to see in the constituency, what further development. We put out those things, we get you elected. Upon elected, you now as the minister come and decide you're going to put down a basketball court. Who tell you that is what we want right now? Now you're supposed to have a town hall meeting, and not just one town hall meeting, a couple of town hall meetings. You're supposed to be on major programs so that the constituents tell you what they would like at the moment, And after that, a decision is made, the constituents would be happy. We don't need a daycare center. We don't need a branch of a police station or something like that. But you come in and put down what you are. Right now, in constituency number 2, the children park in the road is being demolished. Well, taking down of all the rights that is there.
And it has been closed down for the last 7 years. It has been closed down for the last 7 years.
Yes.
Yes.
Hear what I'm saying? It closed down. They're now ready to get it up and running. But there was no discussion with us, the constituents. We just passing by and seeing a bunch of white guys in there demolishing everything. And no discussion with us.
Caller, I think Miss Henderson got your idea and about,
And one other thing, what I find happening is that we elect members to run the government. But after you guys get elected, we can't find you guys, we can't get to you, and the secretary is asking you what you want to see your representative for. Forward and out of order.
Caller, we have another caller.
One thing, we need constituency representative. We need
proper representation.
Yes. Not just you.
Yes, yes.
People we can relate to who we relate to you.
Yes, yes.
Gone.
Thank you very much. Caller, you are running in heels.
Hello?
Yes, good day. You're running in heels. Good day.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, good afternoon.
This is Claudette.
Hello?
Hi, Claudette.
Hello?
Yes, sis.
I'm just calling to say hello to you, Marshall, and my cousin, Mrs. Randy, 2 beautiful ladies, and I'm wishing you ladies well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Caller, you're on Running in Heels. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes. Pleasant good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Constituency number 2. Saying not if Marsha wins, when Marsha wins.
That's right. When
Marsha wins, she will know exactly what to do. One thing with Labour, we don't put up things and don't consult. We always have a meeting in the
there's always consultation.
We always have consultation.
That's correct.
With our people in number 2.
And
we
the
don't
different
just
stakeholders.
come and force anything on people. That's not how Labour rolls.
Not at all.
Labour doesn't roll like that. We come, we consult you, and we listen to you. We listen to you, and we sort out what needs to be sorted out, and we get things on the go. This park up here is in a total mess. It's been going through all kind of things outside here in this park. And in God's time, when Marsha gets in, everything will be fixed.
In the next few weeks.
Thank you very much.
God is in control.
Yes.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, caller. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Good afternoon to you and Marshall.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'd like to congratulate you, Marshall, on first your very interesting journey up to this point.
Yes, thank you so kindly.
For getting your feet wet in the political arena, some may say dirty.
Yes, yes.
Because it is a kind of a political quicksand right now. I'd like to ask you, do you feel any pressure to emulate the men in politics? For the society has this perception that a particular view of politicians must be loud and aggressive and macho.
Yeah.
That's the thing that women are not expected to be.
Yeah, and I feel absolutely no pressure, none whatsoever. I am who I am. I have my own style. I I am, of course, prepared to learn, but I feel no pressure whatsoever to be different to who I am.
Okay, good.
Yes.
And Mrs. Dandy, may I shoot you a question? You mentioned that Grenada was apparently first in the Caribbean with 40% before the last elections. I take it that is no longer so. And does that suggest that the women did not make the impact that they were hoping for? You know, because it's very important for people like Marshall to not only get into the arena, but perform at the expectations that people have. Okay? And so I just wondered if you actually dissected what happened in Grenada and to see why they apparently reversed, well, not necessarily reversed, but didn't continue above the 40% of women in parliament. And lastly, Marshall, yes, it's good to canvass constituents about their needs, but in addition to that, I think the constituents expect leadership. So it's also very important that you come with plans of your own that the constituents can buy into. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen. Or I hope that is what's going to happen as well. Okay,
It has been happening. We have even on my page, my Facebook page, and we have been distributing our constituency manifesto within the communities of Central Bastia, where our plans are included as well. So, and as you said, more, we have other means of disseminating that information, which you would be seeing in due course.
Okay, well, best of luck. And
thank you very much.
You deserve the support of number 2.
Thank you very much. And I'm overwhelmed by the support I continue to get from the good people of Central Bastia. They are excited and enthusiastic about the prospect of me being their next representative, and they continue to show me the love and support, and it's overwhelming.
That's great. The change will definitely be good.
Thank you very much, caller. To answer you, but there's another caller on the line. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Yeah, good afternoon again. I listened to Carl Brown a minute ago, and I happened to hear Sylvie say she would have voted for Marshall. Sylvie can't get to vote for Labour. My God, your conscience really coming full circle to us. Let's move on. I'm trying to figure out Carl Brown, because he voted for Johnny last election. Labour never go on and just shut things on people. So I wonder if it's Johnny he's speaking about. You see?
If I could just say that the things that we discussed and we intend to do in Central Bastia as a result of the consultation with the people in Central Bastia, not just that we came and decided, oh, we're throwing this on Central Bastia. It was indeed with consultation.
But that's how. Well, even let's go deeper into this matter. How do you pick candidates then?
I can't say.
But I'm just trying to show you.
Yes.
There is no vetting, there is nothing. That's what you're not going to shoot with pistachios and this and that and that and that. Wait. Labour has a process. And I keep telling people all the time. Labour has a process. We can't just bring Major. We can't just bring John. John must go through a process. So Carl Brown, we need to know these things. Labour doesn't just let in the candidate, they just run people. There is a process, and we go through the process, just like we have a process for a leader. So Carl Brown, I want to know if what you're saying today is John who you vote for, you're pointing the finger at. I just need to know, Carl, because as far as I see, John L. Powell's political career should have finished when we had this misappropriate thing. We need to stop telling people in this country.
Caller, we have some more persons waiting in the queue.
I need to come back and explain exactly what he said. And Carl, do not say you didn't see Marshall. Well, maybe see that the lady wasn't coming around. They live in Central, but they've been going around for the longest while. So get it well. Don't try to sabotage Labour thing. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, caller. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Yes, good afternoon again. Now, I recall when we were doing women's political participation training in 2002, I was one of the lecturers. Now, it was shown that female candidates have less access to financing, campaign financing, than the male candidates. What has been your experience? You could answer if you want to or differ.
Well, in my party.
Let me hang up.
Okay. Well, in my party, I certainly do not have less access. I think we do have equal access to whatever financing the party has, and I'm not sure where that is. But I guess, as you say, that has been in your findings from your studies, but that is not so with the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. I am the sole female candidate, and I continue to get full support financially and otherwise from my party and my leader.
I want to thank Sylvie for those two questions, because there are two questions that I have in my question bank, which I would have, asked you, Marsha. That one about the campaign financing and the one about the legislation with regards to common law. As a single mother, single parent, what is your, or during the time that you're going canvassing, what are some of the issues that women specifically are discussing with you? I know housing, that is one that comes to mind. So give us an idea as to the issues that they are discussing.
The main one is access to finance. And of course, I would say the increase in the minimum wage. A lot of women find that they are not able to live on the current wage. And interestingly, the last time the minimum wage was increased was during the Labour administration. And that is one of the things that we have said on our platform, and it's in our manifesto, that when we go into government, we intend to increase the minimum wage to $500. And that would be disposable income. So I suspect it might be with $560. Of course, that came from the issues that come out in canvassing, that, a lot of the single parents particularly are struggling. And a lot of them are on the social programs. And that is how they make it. Like you said, the issue of housing and affordable housing. A lot of single parents continue. They're not able to acquire mortgages that would allow them to get housing. It's ridiculous, the process that you have to go through, and the system is set up in such a way that you need a partner, whether it's a husband, a sister. You always have to have a partner who would join with you to get a mortgage. If you're not in, and particularly single women would have to do that. So sometimes you hear them say, I have a boyfriend and he has to join in with me on this application for the mortgage because I can't qualify on my own. So access to finance is a big thing, and jobs. A lot of our single parents are not working. And that is because this government has not done sufficient to generate economic activity within the last 7 years. So you find a lot of our single mothers are on the social programs because they're not able to find work.
Marsha, hold your thought. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Good afternoon, Mr. How are you doing?
I am doing good. And you?
Very well. I'm Coram from Nevis.
Hi, Mr. Coram.
Oh, good. I have been known you for many, many years, and I would like to congratulate you. And I definitely know that you'll do a great job for encouraging people to vote for you.
Thank you so kindly. I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you very much. Coming from you, Mr. Coram. And I know you're just Mark hard.
Thank you very much. So yes, we were talking about the issues that women are presently facing, and their concerns, and how you plan to deal with those issues. I want to discuss briefly the Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations came out with 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and they want each country to try and implement some sort by the year 2030.
Yes.
Looking at the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, on getting into government, which would be the first one that you would tackle, and why?
Okay. I don't even know if I could say the first, but I like the goals in relation to climate change, and food sustainability, particularly because of in relation to food sustainability, what's been happening following the pandemic, and the fact that we import most of our food, and as a result of that, the prices have gone sky high. I think we definitely need to do more, and our party intends to, once we go into government, advance and push policies that deal and initiatives that would relate to that issue, particularly the farming, access to farmers, and initiatives to, and the fisher folks, of course, and initiatives that would assist or compel more persons to go into farming. For too long, farming has looked like the untidy profession, a career. I think we need to do a lot more to make it more attractive, particularly to young people. And so we have in our manifesto that would be released within a couple of days, the initiatives that we intend to advance in relation to food sustenance.
I'm happy that you touch on food security, because in the region, we are seeing more and more women engage in food and safety, food security and safety. So you will need to have a very close relationship with the Minister of Agriculture. So we could ensure.
And you know what was heartwarming? When I went to Fort Thomas Road and I met a group of young people. Well, all of them were not present. There were 5 at the time, but they tell me it's about 20 of them who are farmers and eager, to be a part of the initiatives that we intend to push forward as a government. So young people are definitely coming forward.
Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Pleasant good afternoon to you, Ms. Hazelbrand, and Marsha Henderson.
Afternoon.
I just want to give you God's blessings as you do your thing for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party, being the next candidate and the next representative for the area. God's blessings. We all know you as a defender for so many persons, and continue doing a great job. God is in control of everything, and He will make you victorious. Have a pleasant day.
Thank you.
Another caller. Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, and good afternoon to my wonderful rep.
Good afternoon to you.
The representative of Central Bastille, the next candidate of Parliament for the lovely people of Central Bastille, Marsha Henderson. Now, I want to ask you a question, my rep. What do you think about the laws and the marijuana issue? I don't know if you touch it because I just tuning about the going to jail for a spliff and getting arrested, and you find that sometimes people have to find some ridiculous money to pay to the court, and those type of charges. Do you think those charges and those type of laws, with these petty marijuana situation need to just put aside and pass the laws with the marijuana? And the other one I want to ask you about going to prison for what we call a bad word, a cuss word. Sometimes somebody may be intoxicated with alcohol, and they use some indecent language, with the letter F, and for some reason the police will arrest them, and take them to the station and charge them, and then they go to prison. Do you think those laws need to be removed from the books? And last but not least, the other question I want to ask you, what do you think about the situation where you find that people use the jobs for what we call sexual favor? And for some reason, I find that a lot of that is happening in St. Kitts. A lot of allegation and accuse is going around for young girls, young boys who want a job in the system, for some reason, the boss man them are wishing that even say in government firm where it been alleged an allegation about that you find people in high office in government, like ministers and different things, is using those offices for people to get jobs. You know what I mean, for sexual favor. Do you think that the laws and those allegations need to step up, wishing that the penalties where need to name them and shame them and not protect them? Because for some reason you always find that when those hierarchy ministers or whoever in high society, the name go out there, but the person that gets sexual molested or whatever, you know, the name will out there, but the person who did the damage, name go out there. Do you think that needs to change and we need to put a stop into it? Thank you very much. I have a pleasant day, and remember, organize, centralize, and keep defending the people of lovely Central Bastille. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well. Okay, so if you've been following me, you would know that I'm a big advocate for the decriminalization of marijuana. I've been I have witnessed a lot of young men in particular who have gotten convictions for, you know, being in possession of a spliff. And I think we are moving towards legalizing it for commercial purposes. And we have seen a lot of our young men who have been sent to prison just for having in their possession a spliff. No, I am against the sale and supplying of marijuana, but I think we need to move to decriminalizing for personal use, for religious purposes as well. And because we don't have a lot of time in relation to the indecent language, I know there's several arguments that have been mounted to suggest that it contravenes our constitutional right to express ourselves, to say what we want, freedom of speech, our constitutional right to have our freedom of speech. And so, yes, I am a big advocate of as well. They say, well, no rules in abusing. If you abuse me and abuse you back, what's the big thing? Why is that a criminal offense? You say what you want to say, and I say what I want to say, and it done there. But where it goes to a breach of the peace, I think, you know, we can keep those laws. But just for merely expressing how you feel, not in 2022, I think it is in clear contravention of our constitutional rights to freedom of expressing how we feel. And in relation to your question to the issues of sexual harassment and harsher penalties for the offenders, I absolutely agree with you that the victims are the ones who suffer more, and we tend to more try to protect the offenders as opposed to the victims, and more needs to be done there. It clearly means that the persons who sit on the bench need to keep that in mind, as well as the persons who investigate the matters. They're a lot more lenient to the offenders and not the victims. That too requires a cultural shift in how we think.
That's true.
Most of the time, women are victims. The women are the victims, and the men are the aggressors. And therein lies the problem, and how we see things, unfortunately, in this society.
Yes, and we have been bombarded with calls today, but we are winding down. We started a little late, and so we were given a couple more minutes over time so that we can have the full 1 hour with our candidate. Masha, do you have any one person who you would have looked up to or would have inspired you to go this route? And when you would have become successful at the polls and you have done your tenure in office, what is the legacy you would want to leave behind for an aspiring young girl who wants to come into politics?
Okay, so in terms of somebody who I've never aspired to this, and I don't know if it sounds cliche, but it was never one of my aspirations to be a politician. But I know a number of persons who I respect and admire as politicians, but I've never said, oh, one day I want to grow up and be a politician. Like I said, I was born a leader. Okay. I've always been a leader. And
excellent.
And there are a number of female politicians in particular, like Marcella Liebert. She has been an excellent mentor, and I want to commend her this afternoon. I only transitioned from her in April of this year, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate that. And we're in an election now. I've only been here for 3 months on the grounds, and Marcella has made this so easy for me. And as a woman, I was fortunate to have transitioned from her. And I'm not saying that I would have been any different with a male, but I think it's for me. It is just she's made this so easy,
so much easier.
I would have had 3 years having come out as the candidate in April, but we're in a snap election, and Marcella has done so much. And she continues to make this easy for me. Marsh will be like, Marsh, remember we have to do this, and she explains. She is the true meaning of a mentor.
Okay.
And in terms of where I legacy, and maybe because I never really contemplated being a politician, I never really contemplated legacy either in this respect. But after I would have served, I would want to see, and the question is in relation to how I see my community in relation to girls and boys, mutual respect for each other, equality and equity for the women of St. Kitts, the nation, and in Central Bass. I want people to respect us, respect our contribution. At the end of the day, sometimes I feel we're not taken seriously. We're a lot of times we're more competent, a lot more capable, but because of the fact that we're women, sometimes we're not taken seriously. And at the end of my tenure, I would want to see, some leaps and bounds in that regard.
Excellent. Awesome. Okay, so do we have any callers? Caller, you're on Running in Heels.
With joy and happiness in the mothers of creation. How y'all doing? Good day to African mothers.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
I pray for love and joy. How you doing, Miss Brandy Williams?
I'm fine, thank you.
And how you doing, the candidate?
I am doing well, my friend.
Perfect love and joy. Good day to your listeners. Very well. Now I just already make some reference about the herb aspect of use.
Yes.
And I would like to emphasize, we don't look for decriminalize, we don't look for legalize. We say free up the people who use the ganja so that the people can able to emphasize, the way of benefiting within the use of the ganja, whether you smoke it, you eat it, or you drink it, or you're intaking with your, as we say, therapeutic in the oil form. Now, we are asking here, because we realize we're still seeing the police and army are going and rooting up people herb in their yard. Well, if that is the matter at the hand, how come we still have the investors again land to decide of using to plant ganja for, as I say, in the industry that we are going to formulate in this soon to be, as the Prime Minister explained here. So I'm asking
I get you. Aya, you're saying that the police continue to root up the locals in terms of those farming and using it even for personal use, and we are moving towards commercializing the marijuana, but the locals continue to still suffer because the police is still trying to implement and enforce the law, but we still want to move to make people rich off of marijuana. And yes, it is a concern.
Let me say this here, please, because I asked Mandela Tunji Naskala weed. He's saying this is straight out today, that we cannot continue seeing our people being hurt when the riches of the rich man and rich woman is continue being projecting in their profit if they can consist of, but as they say, adventure market. So we are really going forward.
Yes, I'm in agreement with you, and I want to thank you for calling and making your contribution.
Yeah, because the police will come take on the ganja from that side and becoming a play there,
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your caller. You're on Running in Heels.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is Roy Astafan.
Good afternoon, Mr. Astafan.
Good afternoon. I want to publicly endorse Marsha Henderson as the parliamentary representative for Central Bastia, the next election. Marsha is a person of gravitas. She has character, she has experience. She's a leader, as she said, but she didn't have to say it for us to know it. She is just an outstanding individual. And far and away, with the greatest respect to anybody else competing, far and away, the best choice for the people, not just of Central Bastia, but of the country, as she ascends to being a minister in service to the people of the country. It is really an honor and a privilege for me, as somebody who has represented that constituency, to know that Marsha is going to be a successor in that line, going back to Mr. Bradshaw, in that constituency. And so I want to encourage you, Marsha, with my prayers and whatever efforts I can make to ensure that you are brought to that seat to serve and lead the people of Central Bastia, and through that seat to give of your very best to the people of the country. I have total faith in you and absolute respect for you, and I really believe that you're not only easily the best candidate in that constituency race, but you are a leader in this country. You're on the best team, and you are just poised for win. I had the opportunity of doing a little bit of work with you recently, and I felt the love, I felt the respect, I saw your ease, I looked into your eyes as you dealt with in your conversations with the people in the homes, and the eyes are the windows of the soul, and I saw sincerity and commitment in there. And I'm not just saying this because people who know me know that I'm not a good diplomat. I call things as I see them. Marsha, congratulations, best of luck, and I hope you are successful.
Thank you so kindly, Mr. Astafan, and for all the support. I indeed have big shoes to fill, and I want to thank you for the endorsement as well. It is sincerely appreciated.
Thank you very much, caller. We have come to we are in the dying moments. So, Marsha, I want you to give your final comments. Let the persons know exactly what you want them to know.
Yes. So, thank you, Hazel, for having me. I absolutely enjoyed being here with you this afternoon. And to the people of Central Bastia, I want to remind you that the elections are coming. Doesn't matter how long we took to get here. The elections have to be announced by Monday. So the elections are coming, and the elections are going to be held by the 8th of August. Whenever the Prime Minister decides, we go to the polls. And you have a choice to make. There are 3 candidates running, and you have a choice to make. I want to implore you to implore that I am the best of the 3 candidates running for Central Bastia. The St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party as well is the only choice for in terms of running this country. So I want to solicit your support in the upcoming elections for good and proper representation in Central Bastia. That has been lacking within the last 7 years, and the same energy I bring in court, the fierce representation of my clients, that's the same energy I'm going to bring for the people of Central Bastia. I'm known as the defender of the people, and that is the same energy I intend to bring to the good people of Central Bastia. So I want to solicit your support in the upcoming elections. My representation is for all, young, old, male, female, and I want to solicit your support where you go and you vote for me on election day. Vote for the capable hand, the caring hand. That is the symbol of our party, and it is the symbol for a reason. Vote for the capable, caring, competent hand. Competent, good, and proper representation. good people deserve good representation. And so I ask the good people of Central Bastia to show up and show out and vote for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party and vote for Marsha Henderson. I continue, like I said, to be overwhelmed by your support. And I see they're telling me time is up. So I will see you on the canvassing trail. Thank you for having me, Hazel.
Thank you very much, Marsha. I want to say thank you to Freedom Radio, CBN, that's Caribbean Broadcasting Network, RCP Radio, and TDN Radio in the USA. Thank you very much to the listeners. Thank you very much for the callers. Without you, our radio talk today would not have been as successful as it is. Ladies and gentlemen, there you had it. Miss Marsha Henderson, the representative for the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party of constituency number 2. She will be running in heels.
Like that.
Kitts Nevis.